It's a nightmare many travelers face at Lagos International Airport. Scams that leave you out of pocket and shaking your head. If you don't know what to look out for, you could be next. But don't worry, I've got you covered. In this video, we're going to expose the tricks scammers use and show you how to stay one step ahead. In this video, I'm going to show you 7 scams you absolutely must avoid at MMIA. These tricks are more common than you think, and if you're not careful, you could be the next victim. Stick around until the end, because I've got some secret hacks that will save you time and money. Let's dive in. Lagos International Airport is one of Africa's busiest travel hubs, but it's also home to some of the most brazen scams you'll ever see. With over 8 million passengers annually, it's become a prime hotspot for scammers looking to make a quick buck off unsuspecting travelers. But don't worry, in the next few minutes, we'll walk you through how to spot and avoid these tricks, so you can travel smart and stay safe. Today, we're not talking about minor scams. We're going over the big ones, the scams that will shock a lot of people, the ones that happen every day at Lagos International. These are the tricks you really need to watch out for. Ready? Top 7 scams to avoid. Scam 1. Fake helpers and touts. You step off the plane, bags in hand, and someone approaches you offering help. They say they'll carry your bags, get you a taxi, or make your journey easier. Sounds nice, right? It seems like a friendly face at a busy airport, but beware. Why it works. They'll insist that they're just trying to be helpful. Maybe they even seem like part of the airport staff. But the moment you hand over cash for their services, they'll vanish into the crowd. And the worst part? It's technically legal. There's no law against helping people carry their bags. But it's still a scam, and it's happening all the time at MMIA. Tip. Here's how to avoid it. Simply decline their offer politely. Stick to official porters at the baggage claim area and don't engage with random helpers. It's important to stay alert and not let anyone catch you off guard, especially when you're in a new environment. Scam 2. Overpriced or fake ticket sales. Now, imagine this. You're rushing to catch your flight, maybe running a little late, and someone approaches you with a special offer on tickets or upgrades. They tell you they've got a great price for a first-class upgrade or a last-minute seat, and they promise it's a deal you can't miss. They even make it sound like you'll be missing out if you don't act fast. So, thinking you're getting a bargain, you hand over your cash, but the moment you do, you realize it's a scam, and you're out of pocket. Why it works. They're masters at creating a sense of urgency. They'll say things like, "You're about to miss your flight," or, "This deal is only available now." You're exhausted from travel, possibly distracted by the crowds or your boarding time, and you're more likely to trust them in that moment. This scam works because it preys on your stress and your desire to avoid missing out, making you act impulsively. Tip. Here's how to protect yourself. Always buy your tickets at the official airline counter or directly through the airline's website. Do your research before you even step foot in the airport. Check ticket prices and upgrades online to make sure you're aware of standard rates. Never trust third-party sellers or anyone offering you tickets outside of an official airline kiosk. If someone is trying to pressure you into buying right then and there, that's your red flag. Take a breath, walk away, and verify the offer. It might be a deal, or it might be a scam. Scam 3. Corrupt customs and immigration. Extortion. You've just passed through immigration and customs, feeling relieved to have made it through the long lines. But then, out of nowhere, a so-called official in uniform stops you. They claim you need to pay a fee to clear your luggage, process your paperwork, or expedite your customs clearance. Maybe they even make it seem like there's an urgent problem, telling you that if you don't pay, you'll face delays or even risk missing your flight. Sounds official, right? But it's all a scam. Why it works? This scam works because it plays on authority. The scammer is in uniform, so you automatically assume they're legitimate. They pressure you into believing there's an emergency or that you'll face major delays if you don't pay immediately. In a busy, high-stress environment like the airport, you might think it's easier just to give in to avoid further hassle. The worst part? It's a classic power play. They use your confusion and desire to avoid problems against you. Tip: don't fall for it. Stay calm and stick to your guns. Politely ask for an official receipt for any fees, or better yet, insist that you'll speak to a supervisor if the situation feels wrong. Remember, no official staff member should ever ask you for money directly, especially not in exchange for completing routine procedures. If you feel pressured, walk away and seek help from a higher authority. Always trust your instincts. If it feels off, it probably is. Scam 4. Fake currency exchange and bad exchange rates. You've just landed, and you need local cash fast. So, you head straight to the nearest exchange counter, figuring it's the quickest way to get what you need. But what you don't realize is that you're being scammed. They might offer you a great rate, but when you hand over your money, you're actually getting a much worse deal than you think, or even worse, they give you counterfeit bills. It's an easy scam, and one that's happening right under your nose. Why it works? Airport currency exchangers know that you're desperate for cash and often don't have time to shop around for the best rates. They prey on your vulnerability and use this opportunity to either overcharge you with inflated exchange rates or give you fake bills. Since you're in a rush and need local money, you might not even think to double-check the exchange rate, which is exactly what they're counting on. Tip: to avoid this scam, use official exchange counters or ATMs at the airport. These tend to offer more reliable rates and are less likely to scam you. Before exchanging your money, always double-check the exchange rate on your phone using a currency converter app. And never, ever use street currency vendors or unofficial exchange services. They're the most likely to scam you. Stick to trusted sources and always be aware of what you're getting in return for your cash. Scam 5. Taxi overcharging or shady drivers. You've just landed, and you're exhausted from the flight. A taxi driver approaches you with a friendly smile and says, "I'll take you to your hotel for 10,000 naira. It sounds reasonable, right?" After all, you just want to get to your destination quickly and safely. But what you don't realize is that you could be overpaying, or worse, taken for a ride. Why it works? They know you're tired, disoriented, and not familiar with the local prices. Scammers use this to their advantage, knowing that you might not question the fare or even realize it's inflated. They count on you being in a hurry and too tired to haggle or search for a better deal, leaving you vulnerable to overcharging. Tip: to avoid falling victim to this scam, use ride-sharing apps like Uber or Bolt, where fares are transparent and predetermined. These services are much more reliable, and you'll know the price before you even get in the car. If you do opt for a regular taxi, always agree on the fare up front. Don't let the driver set the price after you've already gotten in. Make sure you're both clear on the cost before the journey starts, no exceptions. Scam 6. Impersonation scams, fake officials. You're standing in line to collect your luggage after a long flight when a security officer in uniform approaches you. They tell you that your bag has been flagged for inspection and that you need to pay a fee to speed up the process. It seems official, but something feels off. Why it works? The uniform gives them immediate authority, and in a busy, stressful airport environment, you might be too tired or confused to question their motives. They rely on this confusion, knowing that you might not want to cause a scene or risk missing your luggage. They'll pressure you into paying, hoping you'll just hand over the money to avoid further hassle. Tip: always ask for ID and verify who they are. Don't pay anything on the spot, especially if you feel uncomfortable or unsure. Official personnel should never ask for cash for routine checks. If the situation feels wrong, it probably is. Politely decline and ask for a supervisor if needed. Trust your instincts. Scam 7. Urgent tips for service, baggage, yellow fever checks. You're waiting in line for your yellow fever vaccination check, doing everything by the book. But then, someone in uniform tells you, you need to pay a tip to speed this up. They imply that without it, your paperwork won't be processed or your luggage won't be cleared. You're already exhausted, and now you feel pressured to pay to avoid delays. Why it works. Pressure tactics are a classic scam technique. They take advantage of your urgency. When you're already in a line, tired from travel, or unfamiliar with the process, it's easy to feel like you have no choice but to hand over money. The scammer counts on this, knowing you'll be desperate to avoid further delays or complications. Tip: ignore any tip demands and proceed through the line as usual. Official processes don't require payment beyond the standard fees, and if anyone asks for money outside of official channels, walk away. Don't let pressure or urgency trick you into paying for something that should be free. Bonus travel hacks: quick tips. Use ride-sharing apps instead of taxis to avoid overcharging. Whether you're arriving at Lagos International or any other busy airport, opting for apps like Uber or Bolt gives you peace of mind. These apps offer a transparent pricing structure, so you'll know the exact fare up front, and the driver can't change the price once you've agreed to it. Avoid the hassle of negotiating fares with taxi drivers at the curb, and ensure you're getting a fair deal, especially in an unfamiliar area. Always carry a power bank. Charging your devices at the airport can be a struggle, especially when charging stations are crowded or malfunctioning. Imagine having no access to your phone for maps, emails, or emergencies because there's no open charging spot. Carrying a fully charged power bank ensures you stay connected and never run out of battery when you need it most. It's one of those small investments that can make a big difference when traveling. Keep small bills on hand for tips or emergency small payments. When you're traveling, especially in a busy airport, it's always handy to have a few smaller notes available for quick tips or small payments, like tipping porters, paying for a quick snack, or handling unexpected minor expenses. It's much safer than carrying around large amounts of cash, and it also allows you to be prepared for small transactions without the risk of getting stuck without change. Pre-arrange airport transfers with trusted services or your hotel. One of the biggest scams at airports happens when travelers try to book a ride at the last minute, only to be offered inflated prices or even unsafe vehicles. To avoid this, always book your airport transfer in advance through your hotel, a reputable transportation service, or a trusted app. This gives you a guaranteed price and ensures that you won't fall victim to opportunistic drivers offering shady deals. Planning ahead keeps the journey smooth and stress-free, especially after a long flight. Now that you know the top scams to avoid at Lagos International, it's time to stay alert and stay smart. Traveling should be about enjoying your journey, not getting stuck in stressful situations. With these tips in mind, you'll be ready to handle any scam that comes your way and keep your trip on track. If you've had any experience with scams at MMIA, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your story. Your insight could help others stay safe and avoid the same mistakes. If this video helped you out, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, share it with your friends and fellow travelers, and make sure you subscribe for more insider travel tips and hacks like these. I post new videos every week to help you travel smarter and safer, from navigating the best airports to staying alert in tricky situations. And don't miss out on my next guide, how to get the cheapest airport taxi in Lagos. Trust me, you're going to want that one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.